called Yahoo Bashim Yahshai, Bashim Kakadai. And, you came across the article a few days ago now. That's what I'm planning to do it today. But I was going to do it yesterday, but, I came up and I'm just going to put it today with the previous lesson. The article says Biden says U.S. will defend Taiwan militarily if China invades. The White House official quickly walked back the president's comments saying U.S. policy toward the self-government island had not changed. So, he's making a threat that if China was planning on invading Taiwan, if he attacked, he'll defend it. So much for that, look what happens to Ukraine when they say the same thing. If Russia move into Ukraine, and the whole world is seeing this is nothing but a joke. And I believe there was an article that says Ukraine admits major defeat. So, and they have a lot of stuff there in Ukraine. They have labs in Ukraine, all the bases and stuff that's near Russia. So Russia's trying to push them back, And Russian troops have taken over a town, Linon, in the northern distant region. I'm reading right now. It said the government in Kyiv revealed on Thursday evening Ukrainian forces have repeatedly withdrawn southern towards Slaviansk, whatever the hell you pronounce that, but yeah, and they was making fake videos about they winning or they pushing Russia back and stuff like it's all propaganda and nonsense. But you see, all these things is wars and rumors of war leading up to the Armageddon, which is World War III. We'll be fought in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which is the Middle East. And this all is leading up to. And of course, President Biden said on Monday in the U.S. will be willing to intervene militarily if China were to invade in self-governing island of Taiwan. Self-governing island, saying invade, yeah, so they could go in there making a democracy. Again, sowing confusion over U.S. posture in the region. Biden said, yeah, it's confusion, right? Hey, Biden don't mean confusion, and like this place, the people is as a leader, they're all confused. He said Biden said at a news conference in Tokyo alongside Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida that Beijing was already flirting with danger with its recent military drills and aggressions toward Taiwan, which China views as its own territory. The question came up in the context of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. You didn't want to get involved in the Ukraine conflict militarily, which is a damn lie. For obvious reason, a reporter asked, "You're willing to get involved militarily to defend Taiwan, if it comes down to that?" And yes, Biden response. That's the consummation. That's the commitment we made. He added, "What commitment? You didn't even make. They even make." If people are realizing the hypocrisy and lies in this place, man, they even made a commitment to help Ukraine. They ain't helping do shit. Or they sent troops over there and they still lost. They didn't put any effort. That White House official appeared right back in the declaration that the U.S. could intervene. Whoa! Back the declaration that the U.S. could intervene militarily shortly afterwards. As the president said, our policies has not changed. He reiterated our one China policy and our commitment to peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait, the official said in a statement. He also reiterated our commitment under the Taiwan Retaliation Act is provide Taiwan with military means to defend itself. Then they're gonna get stolen like before. But all this is rumors of wars and stuff like that, which is part of prophecy. It's good in prophecy, the scripture. And really, all this leads to World War III. Then Matthew 24:6 it says, Wars and Women's War, which will lead to the Third World War, the Third War. You know, and ultimately, all these nations and even the U.S. ally, the EU, or the European nations, gonna the beast is gonna betray, like Scripture said, the beast shall hate the whore, they're gonna betray, Babylon the Great. In Revelation 17, I believe 17, 16, and the 10 horns, But let's get Obadiah 1 and 7. Obadiah 1 and 7. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee. It's like Obadiah 1 and 7 said, all the men that. Oh, let's not verse 6 said, how the things of Esau searched out, how all his hidden things sought out. All the men of that confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee, they went Babylon to a corner. The men that was at peace with thee, just trying to rush in all the nation, have declared thee, have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. As soon as they got their weapons, they started puffing up. And the weak is saying, I'm strong. According to the scriptures, let the weak say, I'm strong. Because now they got their own weapons. Trying to get that. In Joel 3 and 10, it says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather ourselves together round about thither, because thy mighty ones to come down. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all heathen round about. So the Lord doing the battle of Jehoshaphat. That's when the Lord's gonna appear in the church, bring these heathens down. Let's get back to scripture, Obadiah 1 and 7. It says they have deceived thee and prevailed against thee, and bound nuke in the Babylon Great against thee. They that eat thy bread, have laid a wound under thee. Just have the business, imports and exports and other stuff, benefit of this place, of Esau, Edom. Ultimately, there is none understanding him. So all the nations gonna betray. The EU, the NATO, not only the other nations, but the allies, the EU. All the allies they're associated with. You can read that in Revelation 17:16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked. How are they going to make it desolate to ICBM nuclear missile? And shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire, the nuclear missile. For Yahweh hath put in their hearts, you see, Yahweh, he controls, thoughts and actions of man. How can a man know his own way? So, yeah. Job 33 and 16 says, then he opened the Job 33 and 15 says, in a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon man, and a slumber upon the bed, then he opened his ears, and man and sitteth their instructions of the Lord, and put in their mind to do these things. Like the Proverbs 21 and 1, it says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water, he turneth it whatever he will. So whatever he put in his mind for him to do, fulfill prophecy, whatever event he happened to formulate to happen, and he put it in his mind to take certain action. That's him doing that. He turned it wherever he will, whatever he wanted to do to fulfill prophecy. Except for Yahweh had put in their hearts, see, had put in their hearts to fulfill his will, not their will, his will, you know, and to agree and give the kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. You know, so he don't put, you know, have these nations allied with Babylon the Great, you know, but he's gonna have them betray them also. You know, he said, and the woman which thou sawest is the great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. And so Lord, Lord put in their mind, you know, and put Esau over them. Then you're gonna make them turn to Esau. There's movies. You have the villain and a partner of villain. Was a villain. He stabbed him in the back. That was his plan. If you watch like anime and stuff like that, it was like Naruto Shippuden. The main villain thought he was, you know, manipulating shit. Then one of his partners betrayed him, and we had his own plan. Hey, that's basically a movie. You know, and ultimately, when his nation turned against Babylon Great, you know, nuclear missiles are gonna start flying, and before nuclear hit, the elect gonna be beamed out of here. It's in Revelation 11 and 12. It said, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither, and they ascended into heaven, and the cloud is a chariot. Scriptures refer to from a chariot as clouds, and their enemies beheld them. And the same hour was there a great earthquake, the nukes hitting, causing an earthquake. And the 10th part of the city fell, and the earthquake was slain 7,000. 7 means completion. So a complete number of people, a complete destruction. And the remnant were fighting and gave glory. The remnant is the one that got beaten up in the chariot. You know, gave glory to the guys, so they're gonna be scared because they barely escaped. Doesn't say that could have been you. You know. Now ultimately, all these things, all these events, rumors of wars, and it's getting ready for World War III, which is this is the Battle of Jehoshaphat. You know, Armageddon. Let's go to Joel 3 and 2, and we're gonna head out. Joel 3 verse 2. Here's verse 1. For behold, in those days, and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, which is happening, we went to captivity in Babylon the Great. I will gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. You see, it scatters on the nation to the transatlantic slave trade. And they took over our land, you know, the Holy Land the Lord gave us, you know. So you're going to plead with them with the sword. You know, as you go down, and he talks about waking up the mighty men, you know, and the other nations getting ready for war. You know, and you go to verse 19, it says, Egypt shall be desolate, and Edom, I'm talking about future Egypt, and the ancient Egypt, Babylon the Great, Egypt, bondage, Israelites were sold by shipment, Deuteronomy 28:68, I think. And let me make sure I'm right. Yeah, 28:68. You know, it says it shall be desolate by nuclear missiles. Desolate. It shall be a desolate. Edom shall be desolate witness for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. But Judah shall dwell forever, and Jerusalem from generation to generation. For I will cleanse the blood that I have not cleansed, for the Lord dwelleth in Zion. Is another word that representing Israel, the Israelites. Okay. Let's get over here 16 and 16. We out of there. 16 and 16, which is longer than I expected. 16 and 16, it says, and he gathered together unto, behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watches and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. And the seventh angel poured out all his vial into the air. And there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, It is done. And with voices of thunders and lightning, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth, so mighty as an earthquake, so great. So news gonna blasting, blasting shit. As a movie, they have you see the screen shake. They're gonna be destroying the earth for themselves. Fire and earthquakes. And the great city was divided into three parts, and the city of the nation fell, and great Babylon came. So it's talking about the future. And great Babylon came in remembrance before Yahweh, to give unto her the cup of wine, the fierceness of his wrath. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. And there fell upon men a great hail of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent, and man blasphemed God. Because now, there's come destruction, God, because the plague of the hail for the plague thereof are exceedingly great. They're not gonna realize their fault. Yeah, but it's okay. Hey, ultimately the elect's gonna be delivered. It's okay, and you only prove that they deserve their punishment. Because even in the face of death, still being proud. Still talking shit. But okay.